Back to another episode. In this episode, we are discuss about another important models. It's a kill chain models. So as you remember, in our last three episodes, we are discussed a most fundamental aspect is and terms to start with adversary profiling, like a pyramid of pain, pyramid of adversary profiling, like the diamond module that actually diamond module is most closest to pyramid of adversary profiling. So actually, in this episode, we are focused on another modules. It's called kill chain module. Again, I got a benefit from this image by Cisco Talos. So because it's more clear and more well structured than other kill chain modules. So actually, I can explain the all of the terms or the layers on the kill chain modules without the definition in the image itself, but actually it's more clear, and I think it will be more valuable to discuss about it and get us some idea and a more mindset during the talking and recording this tutorial. So actually, the kill chain model is divided to some keys like weaponization, exploitation, command control, reconnaissance, delivery, installation, and action on objective. So the first stage is reconnaissance, and this reconnaissance in diamond model is resources. Is resources. So resources is information about the targeted asset. Okay, that's a way you can compare and you can adopt it and apply the kill chain model layers with a diamond model. So what's a reconnaissance actually? What's the mean of a reconnaissance? So actually, like a red teaming, reconnaissance is a military term that is a process of collecting information and getting information about the individual, about the maybe a specific location, a specific group, a specific system. Um, it could be the through the OSINT, or it could be through SIGINT, could be through a traditional way to recon and get information about our targeted asset actually. So the reconnaissance in the kill change model by Cisco Talos is divided into four key: research, scanning, social media, dumpster diving. So actually, dumpster diving is a part of the of social engineering. Okay, it's a part of the social engineering. But the one of the most important for us for adversary profiling is research, scanning, and social media, because actually that's very rare and unusual that threat actors is going to physically physically conducting a social engineering, especially something like dumpster diving. That's a unusual activity actually, because threat actors, they are mostly operate um, in cyberspace, not in a physical war, in a physical space actually. Let's say that. So the research, first of all, first of all, the research in that's one of the key of reconnaissance. It's not it's not like conducting the OSINT. Okay, conducting the OSINT of a targeted asset could be individual users, could be industry, organization, or the operation system. So research actually, the term of the research is a mostly close into um, providing and developing new technique and the new mechanism for collecting information about targeted asset. But actually, the scanning and the social media can provide some sound that is close related to the OSINT, into open source intelligence, that we are going to get the information through the public available information from the internet, from the social media, from the blog post. Could be email addresses, could be a location, could be a personal profile matrices, and so on. So actually, that's about reconnaissance. And actually, the threat actors, actually the first stage that they are trying to deploy is a reconnaissance of targeted assets. So actually, especially that's a group conducting the attack. The researching can be more and more insightful and more valuable that when individual threat actors trying to penetrate into the organization network. Okay? And actually, the second one is weaponization. The second one is weaponization. So actually, weaponization is actually developing a weapon, developing a cyber weapon based on the detail that you are collected through research, scanning, and OSINT of the first stage. For example, when you collected specific information about the individual, HR, and maybe the marketing team, the IT team from a specific company or specific industry, you will start building a profile matrix based on the reconnaissance stage, and then start weaponizing a payload, a malware. Could be a rootkit, could be Trojan, could be maybe info stealers, and so on. And actually, we have to know that weaponization is change. It's change based on the nature and behavior of the targeted assets. Let's make an example to make it sound more clear. For example, the company mostly is dealing with a document, PDF, PowerPoint, Excel, Office document, and so on. So actually, in this case, your weaponization is creating a malicious document, a malicious Excel, a malicious PowerPoint, a malicious could be Office document, a malicious RTF, and so on. So actually, that's mean the weaponization of the payload is based on the nature and behavior of the targeted assets. So actually, the third stage is delivery. So it's a very important that if you done the first stage and the second stage of your cyber operation, how threat actors, how you as a red teamer deliver the weaponized payload, the weaponized document, the weaponized script into the individual users. How? So actually, based on the kill chain model, there are some way to doing this. Phishing mail, malicious IDS, so malvertising, drive-by download, and USB infection. So actually, USB infection, there are some cases actually that threat actors is drop a USB, like a bad USB in a parking cars, and maybe in the stir of the company and the organization, and one of the employee that may be thinking, okay, that could be a USB drive, or one of the employee, and then plug into the computer, and the computer will be infected by malware. And based on the malware capabilities, maybe it have copy itself and conducting the pivot pointing and lateral movement. That's mean move from one machine to another machine. And actually, it could be by phishing mail. It could be by a phishing mail. So you got an email from LinkedIn, from Facebook, from maybe another platform based on your skills in OSINT, then start delivering the malicious document into the maybe HR team, maybe to marketing team. And in some cases, the threat actor is trying to compromise it or trying to compromising one of the email or webmail of the company to make it sound more legitimate, because instead by sending email from unknown individual, unknown email, they trying to compromise one of the employee from HR team, from marketing team email, and then sending the malicious document, and that's how make it sound more trustable. And actually, in this case, the security protection tools maybe doesn't make a sense to protecting the company and the organization from a cyber attack. So actually, the key in this scenario is awareness. Awareness actually. And the one of the other technique is drive by download. Okay, so actually in this case, the threat actor is trying to compromise a company website, and then injected a malware into it. It need some actually for this technique. If the attacker is injected maybe malicious JavaScript code to download the payload, it's fine. When you visit a website, it start downloading one APK file, or it could be one PowerShell file, one executable file. But actually for execution, it need actually a vulnerability from a browser itself. Okay, so actually it provides a sound like a watering hole attack or silent download. Okay, and another technique that they are trying to use for delivery is malvertising. Malvertising is actually creating IDS, advertising from the browsers, and from maybe try added a sponsor website into the Google. When you click it, you are infected by a malware, some kind like this. But actually, malicious IDS is mostly related to malicious ads. Click to download, your computer contain a virus, and so on. And actually, another way and another stage we have is actually exploitation. And the exploitation actually is the initial access, in here is a gain access, and the trigger exploit and elevate privilege and bypasses security. So actually, the exploitation means how you are exploit the company. So actually, the main key of the stage is not the reconnaissance, it's not weaponization, it's not delivery, because it will be done in the most of the physical and digital cyber operation. The main key is how you are start exploiting the human thing, the human mindset, the decision making part of the brain, to make it employee or individual users click this malicious document and then execute it. So actually, the one of the most point in this stage or in the most cyber attack is initial access. So here mentioned it's gain access, but the real term and the real name is initial access. Initial access could be phishing mail, could be USB infection, could be drive-by download, could be malicious IDS, or could be insider threat, or could be shadow IT. or could sometimes they are trying to access through initial access brokers. They buy your liquid data from the dark web, from the breach forums, in a surface or in a black market that are available in dark web, or in another unrestricted social media or the chatting platform. And actually, the one of the another key is actually how you escalate the privilege from the user into the admin. I mean, requested privilege. So, for example, the user is downloaded a payloader, okay, and actually it need administration level to run this program. I mean, it needs user access control, UAC, yes and no, while double clicking on the executable file. But actually, in this case, when the employee or the IT security team is see that I am sorry, that this executable file is not digitally signed, which make a red flag on this file that you are delivered from yourself based on your reconnaissance, weaponization, delivery status, and it's may doesn't click it because actually that doesn't sign it. Why the program is not signed, digitally signed, it doesn't have a certificate, CA certificate, and it asks for administration level. And that one of the most challenging is actually if you target a big company like maybe financial company, banks. Of course, they have a vulnerability assessment team, they have a penetration tester team, they have a SOC team, they have a security researcher, they have a malware analyst, they have a SOC, they have a incident handler, incident response, they have a cyber forensic investigator, they have a great tools, great resources, great products, EDR, NDR, XDR, HIDS, NIDS, and so on. How you are, or how threat actor is actually trying to gain bypassing security products. How threat actor is bypassing security product actually. How defense evasion is done. Maybe the traditional way of obfuscation or encryption or encoding doesn't work. So that's actually one of the most challenging one, because actually even the individual user's computer or the personal computer laptop, it have some kind of a traditional firewall and antivirus product. Like we mentioned in our last episode, the Windows Defender is a pre-installed on the computer itself when you're trying to install a Windows. And actually, another stage is installation. How you are set up with a backdoor, install a malwares. So installation of the malware could be by downloader, could be by droppers, and so on. But actually, that's another challenging key. And how you are establish your foothold. So foothold in this case could be a persistence. Okay, that's a persistence. So your persistence would be what? Through a bootlogon, through a startup, through updata, creating another directory, through task schedule, through WMI, Windows Instrumental Management. But actually, maybe the one day a SOC team is right click, go to task manager, startup, or in the task schedule, or updata, or temp file, see a suspicious executable file. And that's a make a red flag actually. So then they start to collecting indicator of compromise and analyzing your malware, maybe through Soundfocus in a traditional way, static and dynamic analysis actually. And it may be distribution. It may be distribute your whole cyber operation actually. And how your malware is hiding being detected, hiding itself, while they are always real-time monitoring, real-time protection with this great product. Is actually even the IMSI MP engine of Windows Defenders. That's a traditional antivirus product that by default, when you're installing a Windows operating system, it contains actually, and it's a great one. So how you are hide yourself, how you are changing your behavior, it's based off polymorphism or metaformic technique. I don't know. It's depend on the cyber operation and depend on a threat actor's behavior. So another layer is command and control. So actually, command and control is a communication channel between the attacker itself and the victim that used for espionage, used for sabotage, for stealing data, for data exfiltration. So actually data exfiltration means that stealing the data, extracting the critical information, PII, could be intellectual properties, documents from a specific company or specific bank as financial information and so on. And remote access actually beaconing and so on. So actually the C2 is based on the software that you are using for interacting with the victim. For example, in Gerard, the CNC is contained inside itself, like or direct command or Adamarcus or extreme rod and coastal rod. Maybe Remcos, the command and control server is inside itself. You are just clicking and getting information about it actually, like a Spinode, Spymacus, Droidbot, and Droidjack actually. Okay, and the action and objective is one of the main, and I think this one is one of the most critical point. Why? Because the action and objective, that's a target of the adversary and threat actors that planning to it, pin it this point, this stage, in the reconnaissance stage, or even before the reconnaissance stage, they are planned for this action and objective. So this action and objective could be data theft, could be disruption, could be server stopping, could be sabotage and espionage. So actually action and objective is data impacted. What's the impact of the cyber operation? If you back to here, actually the botnet joining. So if the cyber operation is not targeted attack, botnet joining is okay. But actually, if the cyber operation is a targeted, the botnet joining is not making any kind of the senses. But the bad news is about this kill chain module is if the attacker is failed in exploitation in initial access, those three stages, reconnaissance, weaponization and delivery, will be debunked. And actually the 3-1 installation and command and control and action and objective is not happen because this 3 stages, reconnaissance, weaponization and delivery, is done for sake initial access. And if the victim doesn't open the file, delete the email, move into spam, report it, this operation is not make any kind of the senses. Even the USB infection, maybe the USB port of the computer is blocked. Okay, so actually in this case, the computer is not will be infected by malware. Maybe if the USB contains some kind of the exploitation that can bypass it this way, that the threat actor blocked a port, USB ports through a registry. But actually, what if the computers and now the modern laptop they only have a type C USB actually, it's not a USB 3. So actually one of the main point is a action and objective, because the threat actor before reconnaissance is planning. So what's their threat actor's goal? To start exfiltrating and infiltrating and penetration this company, this system, this individual, this industry, this critical infrastructure, this financial institute. Okay, that's one of the important key. And remember, if the exploitation and initial access is fail, all of the other stages is debunked. Okay, actually, I think it's enough for the cyber kill chain model. And until the next episode, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And doesn't forget to like, share, and subscribe my YouTube channel. That's encouraged me to upload a new video.